Hey guys, welcome back and thank you so much for joining me for another video. Today we're going to be going over my December favorites and I'm super excited honestly because I haven't done one of these videos in what feels like a super long time, so I'm really excited to show you guys the plants that have been jumping out to me over the last, really like the last 2 months since the weather has gotten not so nice. These plants have been jumping out at me lately. I do want to share with you though, today is, there's a lot of gray clouds in the sky, but I can see blue sky today and I can see the sun for a bit. So we are soaking that in while we've got it. I am absolutely loving it. Me and the dogs have already gone out for a couple nice walks today and we're going to go out for another one later and they've just been loving it. So I'm just enjoying the day today and makes me even more excited to share these plants with you guys. So let's go ahead and just get started. I'm going to grab the first plant that is just right next to me here. This little cutie right here. Look at her. Oh my God, she's so cute. So this is my Thanksgiving cactus and she is just starting, it'll focus, there we go. Just starting to throw out some blooms here this year. I guess it's not the first blooms of the year, but of the season. Cutie. These are still fairly early on. The blooms are like they have some more developing to do. And then they'll open up and just look like little, what do they look like? They always look like little like diving fairies or something like that. I don't know. That's always what I think of. But I will find you some nice pictures of fully bloomed Thanksgiving cactus flowers so that you can see. And you can tell the different types of holiday cacti based on like the shapes of the leaves and the like the thickness as well. That's the word I'm looking for, the thickness. This plant was gifted to me quite a while ago by one of my coworkers and I love it so much. It's a really special plant to me and I don't give this plant much care because she just really doesn't need it. It's one of those plants that you can just kind of put off to the side, put it in front of a window and she'll be happy and growing in no time. But yeah, I water this plant maybe once a month. Maybe. Like, oof. She lives downstairs and the plants that live downstairs, they don't get much love, to be totally honest with you. They kind of get forgotten about down there. And it's just like survival of the fittest. So I'm amazed every day that they're all still alive down there and they all look pretty healthy. Tell me how that happens. But yeah, they're doing okay down there and this guy has just been popping off. It's been growing a fair amount. I want to say this whole section right here is new and it's just doing so well. Now, it is very, very soft and floppy and that is how I know that this guy is like definitely ready for some water and maybe some food. So yeah. I think later today or maybe tomorrow I'm going to be going through and watering all of the downstairs plants and maybe I'll take you guys along with me for that because why not, right? And maybe that'll give me more, oomph to go do it. I need a little oomph sometimes. Don't you? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Okay, the next plant on my favorites list for December is one that I showed off recently in a video, and I just have to show it off again because I'm just in love with this plant. This is my Philodendron Jose Buono, and look at her. Oh my gosh. Such a beautiful leaf. This is definitely like the leaf that shows that it's like truly a Jose Buono with that gorgeous variegation. Oh my goodness. But you can kind of see it in this leaf as well. It's just not quite as visible, but still so beautiful. And this plant was gifted by one of you lovelies out there. Thank you so, so much. Oh my God. She's doing pretty darn well, especially for the season and the fact that like most of my plants are not doing great right now because the lack of sunlight. This one is still doing okay. I mean, it pushed out this leaf within the last month or so, and it's just so pretty. Oh my gosh. So this plant lives like sitting on my desk, so I just look at it so much more than almost any of my other plants, and I just love it. You are so pretty. This is a plant that I definitely like to keep well dusted because the variegation is like so light to see. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, the variegation is like really light splotching on here, so it is kind of harder to see. So I find that if I keep it nice and wiped off and keep it dusted, then I can see the variegation better, and the plant is going to be able to soak in the sun. The little bit of sun that we do get, it'll be able to soak it in so much better if the leaves are nice and wiped off. Okay, yeah, Philodendron Jose Buono. I love this plant. Now, I do water this plant much more frequently than I do the Thanksgiving cactus that we were just talking about. Like, she is not getting watered just once a month. Absolutely not. I'm watering this plant more like once every week and a half or so. It's definitely not one that needs a ton of water, at least not for me yet. I think that's mostly having to do with the fact that it is so darn gray in here and so dark in here most of the time. And this one is not getting like directly hit by a grow light. It probably gets like, I don't know, maybe a little bit of ambient light from the lights in the cabinet kind of shining out, but very little, if any, from that, honestly. So yeah, this guy definitely stays damper for longer, so I can hold off a little bit more on waterings. But when I do water, I still like thoroughly water this guy. Like, it feels like I've recently watered this guy because it's nice and like held together in the pot. Once it feels like really light and really loose within the pot, then I know it's time to go ahead and water. But she should be good for at least another week. I gotta get back here, sorry. Oh, oh, oh no. Oh. Whew. Oh, you are so cute. Okay. You're so cute too, and so are you. I love you. All righty. Here's the next plant. Ooh, wow. I should have pulled her down and dusted her before I, like just right now. Hold on, let me give her a little wipe down. Okay. Just because it's on a favorites video doesn't mean that it's absolutely perfect. This plant is very thirsty, but it's still so beautiful. And it actually has recently popped out a new leaf that I just saw. So really happy about it. But this is my Alocasia dragon scale. And if I show it to you like this, it doesn't look too sad. But if you see it like this, she's not looking super happy, but as soon as I give her some water, I think she'll perk back up no time. So yeah, I'm not too worried. But look at how beautiful. Okay, this leaf. Are you kidding? That is just too pretty. And then the backs of these leaves just kill me. It's kind of like you're getting two plants in one, because the front of this leaf obviously is, you know, that beautiful dragon scale look and color. And then the back of it is almost exactly like the back of a silver dragon leaf. So I don't know. It's almost like you get a two-in-one. Look at that. With that red veining. Or is it red or is it purple? This is looking more red to me, but let me know what you think. So beautiful. Look at that. And then let me show you this little baby leaf that just popped in. I don't even know when, honestly. Look at that. Oh my God. The color on the little baby leaves is so vibrant. It's just gorgeous. Oh, and then of course the back of the baby leaf. So pretty. So this guy, like you saw, sits right behind me, sits right behind me on the shelf above my bed. And I just love it. I love looking at it from, like, you know, down below. I really get to admire the backs of the leaves a ton. And then once I'm like sitting up or sitting at my desk or just like walking around in here and doing something, I can enjoy the tops of the leaves. And it's just such a beautiful plant. It looks so different from all of my other plants too. Like, I don't have that many Alocasia, frankly, and honestly, for not having very many Alocasia, there's a lot on this list. So don't know what that's about, especially this time of year. They usually don't do great. Like my Alocasia frydek is down to a stump. Well, actually, no. She's popping out a new leaf. So that's awesome. She's sitting right behind you on the shelf, and yeah, she's popping out a new leaf. So that's awesome. It's not just a stump. Well, there's two main plants in that pot. Ooh, losing my voice. But yeah, there are two main plants within that like Alocasia frydek pot. One of them is still a stump technically, but I'm sure it'll grow back. But anyway, yeah, so overall, Alocasia usually don't do great this time of the year. They definitely like a lot more sunlight and just, I think, a little bit of more warmth as well. So they can go dormant in the winter time, but this guy is just doing really well. Besides me underwatering it, we're gonna ignore this part right here. Do we have a deal? Can we pinky swear we're just gonna ignore that part and just look at this? It's so pretty. And are we seeing like the texture? Oh my gosh, it's just lovely. Not much else to say. It's just a beautiful plant. I mean, maybe do better at watering than me. I mean, to be fair, these are the oldest leaves as well. And like this one, I sliced with a box cutter when I was unpacking it after moving. So I'm not going to miss those leaves that much. I got to be honest. So yeah, I don't know. Just a really easy care plant. Give it some light. Give it more water than I have. I definitely need to water this plant. And like, honestly, this whole shelf section behind me, I need to water after I film this video. But yeah, it's just a super hardy Alocasia. I don't know. And I mean, you can find these at your big box stores as well. So that should kind of tell you something right there, that it's a bit more of a hardy plant, because if it can be sold in a big box store, that kind of guarantees that it's going to be a bit more hardy than, like, I don't know, more of a rare plant that might be a little bit more tricky, like a Queen Anthurium or something. Those are a bit more tricky. But these guys, you just stick them on a shelf somewhere, give them a little bit of love, and they will give you a lot of love right back. Look at that. Oh, so beautiful. So yeah, Alocasia dragon scale. We'll move on to the next plant, shall we? Sixto, I'm gonna have to crawl over you one more time. Try not to fuck this plant up. All right, my next favorite, I actually don't have to hold right here because they're all in use. This is going to be our first planty item and not a plant of this list. And it's going to be something that I find very, very helpful, very important to have, especially if you utilize grow lights, which honestly, grow lights should also be on this list, but they're not. But timers are, what? But outlet timers are, oh my God, you guys, outlet timers. They're quite inexpensive. I'm going to pop up an example of one that I have myself. I don't have anything that is like super fancy, although I will say the next time I order like a new round of timers, I'm going to get the fancy ones that are like hooking up to an app on your phone or something like that. They're like fancy and digital. I'm going to pop up some examples of what I mean here so that you can see what I'm talking about as well. And I will link like both kinds down in the description if you are curious to check them out for yourself. But they are so helpful. It essentially works to just turn your lights on and off for you so you don't have to think about it. Are you kidding? Don't we all have enough things to be thinking about? We don't want to need to think about our lights when we're turning them off, when we're turning them on. Are we doing it at the similar time every day? Or are our plants getting like the correct amount of light that we actually want them to get? Probably not if you're not using timers. I gotta get the next plant out of the cabinet. Oh, you're such a sweet boy. Oh no. I'm surprised I haven't had any whining dogs yet. It is just past their lunchtime, so we'll wrap this up pretty soon, okay? You're being so good. You're being so good back there too, honey. I love you. Okay. All right, now, I haven't really looked at this guy super up close in a minute. Look at that. Oh, this guy needs watered really bad. Okay, so the next plant on the list is one that has come back from the dead. I didn't think this plant was going to make it after my move from Colorado to Washington. It went through all kinds of weather, and this guy had usually been in a covered dome situation, getting really, really high humidity, and he loved it. It was doing so, so well. The leaves were like a pretty good size and just so beautiful and colorful. And it took quite a while, to grow back. And we finally are like almost like a little plant again. So let me show you. This guy here is my Alocasia species Riao. Let's see if we can focus. Look at her. Oh, it looks super, super dark right here in my viewfinder, so hopefully I can brighten it up for you. When I'm editing this, we'll see. I'm so happy that this plant has like finally started to grow back for me. It's one of my favorites. It's just so beautiful. It's so unique. And I don't have any other plants even kind of like this plant. So yeah, I'm so happy that she's starting to grow back. I'm going to pop a picture up here of a species Riao. I was going to say of like an old photo of mine, but I can't guarantee that I know where one is. So no, I should have one. I'll pop a picture up here of a old photo of my Alocasia species Riao of this plant. Oh my God. Sorry, I just realized that it's got another 2 little leaves down here. Let me zoom you in again. Do you see? Look at those. That's awesome. So yeah, I'm just so happy to see that this guy is growing back and it's doing something. We're doing something here. Alocasia species Riao, I definitely need to water this guy. Poor little thing. But it's been pretty tough despite dying back to just a stick, essentially. It was just this guy sticking up, and I just put it in the bag and watered it, give it some sunlight, and just crossed my fingers and hope for the best. And it's been doing okay. So if this is a plant that you've been wanting for a long time and been too scared to get because it is technically, I think, a terrarium plant, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. Don't be scared if you've been wanting to try it. I would say go for it because, I don't know, they seem fairly forgiving. So yeah. Okay, glasses are on. I feel like I'm in a fishbowl, but that is okay. I feel like I can actually breathe with my eyes again. You know what I'm saying. If you're a contacts wearer, you know what I'm saying. Okay, so the next one on my December favorites list is going to be none other than the Alocasia deweyi's reversa. Look at her. First off, she's a good sized plant. And she has just been growing for me, not caring how lax my care has been. She's still just been growing and doing just fabulous. But look at these leaves. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. And it just pushes out new leaves like there's no tomorrow. Like, look at this little baby. She's so cute. And this one, and she's pushing out an inflorescence for me too. That's lovely. Now, I have no idea what to do with Alocasia flowers, so I usually just cut them off, to be honest with you. That way the plant can hopefully put its energy just into making new leaves, because that's really what I want to look at. Look at this one. Oh, this is a newer leaf, you can tell, because it's like extra shiny. And just look at that color. It's just so, so dark and kind of alien looking. This plant could definitely use a hose down just to kind of clean off the leaves and to just ensure that we don't have any pest problems happening. But so far, I'm not really seeing anything, which is honestly really surprising because in my experience, Alocasia gets spider mites like that. Like it just takes 2 seconds and then spider mites are here. But I haven't seen any so far on this plant. Knock on wood. Or maybe I have, but I just blocked it out. But it's been a minute if I have. All right, let's move on to the next item on the list. Oh, did I bring that down here? I did. All right. Any guesses as to what our next item is? I'll give you 2 seconds. It's pretty easy. You'll get it. A pump sprayer. Okay, these things are amazing. Now, I will say, despite it being on my favorites list, you know, it may not be my like ultimate favorite. I do wish I had like a smaller, more handheld spray pump sprayer. There we go. I will put a photo in right here of what I'm talking about so you understand, but they do make like smaller ones that are like a half gallon, or even less than that. I don't think I'd want less than a half gallon, but maybe like a half gallon to a full gallon, more handheld pump sprayer where you just kind of like pump it really quick and then hold it and go, you know, as this photo kind of depicts, perhaps. But yeah, that's kind of what I would be interested in getting in the future. But as for right now, this big bad boy works just fine. This one is Scott's brand, but I honestly don't think it really matters what brand you have. I've used a few different types of these sprayers before, and they all work the same. None of them are going to last you forever, but they'll last you for, you know, a solid year or something like that. So don't go crazy. I wouldn't spend more than like $20 or $30 on a pump sprayer. I think the ones that I was looking at that are like the smaller, more handheld ones were around that price. I love these guys. It is fairly inexpensive, like I said, but it just makes watering so much easier, especially if you have like a grow tent, which I don't have the ability to have my grow tent set up right now. But when I did, this thing was so nice to have. Oh my God, you guys, because you can just spray just recklessly in there. Like, who cares? It's a grow tent. Water can go wherever it wants to go. It doesn't matter. So you can just spray like crazy in there. Everything could just get like their leaves hosed down in addition to getting watered. Just amazing. So, so nice to use. So I highly recommend these, especially if you have a grow tent set up. There's just nothing better. I mean, honestly, it's just so nice. So yeah, I love these guys. I will truly keep this one short and sweet because there's nothing else to say about a pump sprayer. Oh, I guess one other thing is it is nice if you can get one that has like a little changeable nozzle thing. Like here, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but this has like different options on it. There's like fan, cone, stream, I guess that's it. 3 different options on there. So that is a nice little like add-on to have for these guys. But other than that, I mean, a simple pump sprayer, really nice to have. So I will link some options down in the description for you below if you want to check some out for yourself. But yeah, I think that's just gonna be it. Oh my God, I can't talk. So check out a pump sprayer if you haven't already. Even if you only have a few plants, I think these are pretty nice to have. So that's going to be it, you guys. I think that is going to be the entire list for my December favorites. Thank you so much for joining me. I feel like a whole different person with these glasses on. Like, who am I? I can't really see if I'm in focus now, so hopefully I am. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, I hope the quality is looking a little bit better than previous. Let me know what you think. I am just loving this new camera that I got myself. Sometimes you need to splurge on yourself, you guys. So I implore you, it's the holidays. It's not just the holidays. Excuse me. It's not just the holidays for everyone around you, it's also for you as well. So go get yourself that thing you've been wanting for so long. you might like really, really, really appreciate it once you have it. So yeah. Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.